Hello everyone. We have 22 people. Okay, I think I should start. Hello everyone. I'm John Beck from Hockeystack and I'm heading the growth here at Hockeystack. I joined here in January, and before that I had been their advisor for over 2 years, and their two ex-customer both in Cognism and DeepCrawl. I was the group head of Cognism and head of growth of DeepCrawl. And in every company I worked for, attribution has been such a pain, or let's say traditional attribution. And that's why we are here today. Today, I'll be talking about unified attribution and the attribution revolution that we are building. And as topic says, traditional attribution has been all about showing the marketing efficiency, proving the return on investment of each dollar spent. And it has always been about marketing, and it always ignored the potential influence of other GTM activities. Traditional attribution data isn't necessarily wrong or bad, but the use of the traditional attribution in companies is fundamentally flawed. Focusing just on department level attribution while ignoring the sales impact or ignoring the customer impact in the marketing journey is a significant oversight. When evaluating the revenue activities, it is not a binary decision or whether this thing works or not. And today, that's what we are going to be covering. Let's get started. Before getting into details, I would like to clarify a few things here that I'll be discussing just to make sure that everyone is on the same page. The first thing I'll be covering is the marketing touchpoints. And when we talk about marketing touchpoints, I would say any interaction between a prospect and a company throughout the customer journey. And customer journey will mean from the first ad impression to close one. And it will be both on the contact level and company level, because company level needs to be understood for the entire buyer journey, and contact level needs to be understood to see what actually caused that conversion. Online marketing touchpoints will mean viewing/engaging an ad, or visiting the website, or signing up for a webinar, including but not limited to downloading an ebook, etc. Offline marketing touchpoints will be some of the stuff like dinner/roundtable attendees, event or trade show or conference list, or sending gifts or sending any kind of offline marketing activity. And sales touchpoints will mean outbound emails or calls or messaging by salespeople, etc. And traditional attribution, which we will cover more thoroughly in the next slides, is basically department level analytics, where one can track the customer journey with mostly online and sometimes offline marketing touchpoints. And unified attribution, on the other hand, will mean company level analytics, where one can track the customer journey with the entire GTM touchpoints. So I will start with a survey that we have run in early 2022. Early this year, we ran this survey across 50 CMOs in B2B SaaS companies ranging from 50 million ARR to 1 billion ARR. And in this survey, we asked 3 questions. What do you think when you hear the term attribution? What do you use attribution? And do you use attribution at all? And what's your main concern regarding attribution? And out of these 50 CMOs and 3 questions, we didn't get one single positive response. The first question was, what do you think when you hear the term attribution? And 94% of the respondents said understanding the impact of marketing. 4% of them said chaos, and 2% of them said promised land. The second question was, do you use attribution and how? 56% of the respondents said they had single touch attribution. 28% of them said they had no attribution, and 16% of them said they use multi-touch attribution, but they had no idea why, or they had no idea how it works. And the third question was, what is your main concern regarding attribution? 30% of them said complexity, 25% of them said accuracy and clarity, another 25% of them said capturing the offline touchpoints, and 20% of them said how to use insights. So around 70% of the CMOs either found attribution complex or inaccurate, or they had no idea how to use the data. But today I will be focusing on only the first part. 94% of the CMOs believe that attribution is about understanding the impact of marketing. And this first question is showing us that CMOs basically think marketing attribution is about marketing. And this is what traditional attribution companies taught marketers. These companies and this mindset led us to believe that attribution is just a marketing game, a game to understand the marketing efficiency and fight for credit. Basically, to sugarcoat marketing spend or sugarcoat the marketing activities. This was traditional attribution, and this was marketing attribution. However, as I said in the beginning, traditional attribution data isn't necessarily wrong or bad, but the use in companies is fundamentally flawed. And focusing only on department level attribution while ignoring the sales impact in the marketing journey or vice versa is an oversight. For example, look at this attribution journey. It's a great example of a department level attribution model. It could be multi-touch, but it still assumes that the journey is linear and only influenced by marketing. However, the buyer journey is not linear, nor it is binary. Therefore, we need to evaluate sales and marketing activities altogether, because every department contributes to every close-won customer in a way. It could be sales, it could be marketing, operations, even customer success. Every department contributes to every close-won deal. And when you think about that, growth happens in revenue. Therefore, revenue needs to be a business metric, not just a sales metric. However, traditional attribution completely ignores this complexity. Or maybe ignore is a harsh word, but the traditional attribution tech simply doesn't allow tracking anything more complicated than the marketing influence. However, the efficient growth starts by identifying and optimizing the GTM activities altogether. Therefore, we need to get rid of department level analytics and unify attribution. So now I'm going to give you a real life example. Imagine this scenario. An SDR makes an outbound call to a CMO. And let's say that the CMO is the CMO of Dunder Mifflin. They talk on the phone for a couple of minutes, and then the CMO says they are busy and they don't book a meeting. Within a given time period, this completely depends on the company, but let's say 24 hours in this example. In 24 hours, the marketing director of Dunder Mifflin visits the website, checks out the product pages. And then within another given time period, let's say another day, the marketing manager of Dunder Mifflin visits the website, checks out the integrations page on the website, and then submits a demo form. So the journey is an SDR is cold calling the CMO, nothing happens. Then somehow the marketing director, a day later, maybe a week later, comes to the website, and then the marketing manager, the day later, comes to the website and submits a demo form. And on the traditional attribution model, we will see that the marketing manager came through organic, and the brand campaigns must be working. The traditional attribution with self-report attribution. So if we ask how did they hear about us, we will see that the marketing manager came through organic, but it was recommended by their manager. Therefore, it will be word of mouth. If we rely on Attribution 2.0, where we will be following from the first impression to close one with self-report attribution, we will see that the marketing manager came through organic, but was recommended by their manager from the self-report attribution answer. But we will also see that the company was also being targeted on LinkedIn. Therefore, we will say, okay, LinkedIn ads must have influenced someone in the company, then they must have talked with this person and they come to the website and submit the demo form. If we look at unified attribution model, on the other hand, we will see that the marketing manager came through organic after an outbound call to the CMO, because we will now be able to see the sales touchpoints alongside marketing touchpoints as well. Therefore, we will be able to say that this deal has been created both by LinkedIn's influence, because that company has been targeted on LinkedIn and they had been getting impressions on LinkedIn, but the deal was actually created after the outbound call. Therefore, we will be able to track the influence of the outbound call, a cold call, even though it wasn't an outbound deal. So this is what we mean by unified attribution. This example I just shared happens every day, causing companies to focus on wrong things or adjusting their investments inefficiently. and it causes revenue leak. This problem was the foundation of unified attribution. And with unified attribution, the feature of attribution will be the foundation of all bound GTM motion. However, this was not it, because when we look at the current models, it is all about showing what activities work individually, like what campaign is working, what activity, what specific activity is working. But there's no solution to understand what activities work at scale, like what is the actual outcome of that activity. So we need to be looking at from the bottom to understand the impact of each campaign, yes, but also we need to be able to look at from the top. So we need to be able to reverse engineer the funnel and see which activity is doing what. Such as we need to be able to look at the pipeline and revenue data and understand what activities work to what extent. In this case, if we are looking at the deal won, then we need to be looking at all of the activities that cause this deal won, or what activities cause close loss deals. Like we don't even need to look at only close won deals, but we need to be able to look at close loss deals to understand what activities are actually causing deals to get lost, or what activities cause faster deals or lower ACVs. We need to understand how to build this multi-thread machine. This was how we came with the idea of unified GTM attribution. Because this is the era of efficient growth, and companies need to reinvent their entire GTM motion and their operations. And that's how we built the unified attribution model. And let me actually walk you through the screenshots. The one on the left shows the contribution of each activity in the first 0 to 6 months. Then from 6 to 9 months, and then 9 to 12 months in a company with a 12-month deal cycle. The one on the right shows the exact contribution of each activity in pipeline and what works and what doesn't, and what works to what extent. This is what we mean when we say the future of attribution will be the foundation of all bound GTM motion. Companies will begin measuring their entire GTM motion altogether. And this is the unified GTM attribution. So how to begin? Obviously, I'm not here to sell the product. I'm not here to demo anything. I'm here to talk about the movement we are trying to build. And you might not have the budget. It might not be a priority for you. You don't want the tool. It's okay. But you can still tracking some signals by yourself, even if you don't have any tool, even if you don't have any tech stack except for your CRM. And this section, I will show you how. And please note that this will be an overly simplified version, but it is still a good starting point. And there are some signals that I recommend to begin with. For example, the first signal could be email click from someone else within the same company after an outbound email. So you are sending an outbound email to a CMO, and you see that that outbound email was opened by another person in the company. This indicates that that email was forwarded. And it could mean that there might be an intent, a low intent, but it's still an intent. But if you want to increase that intent level, what you can track is an email attachment download from someone else within the same company after an outbound email. So you are sending an email to a CMO, then it gets forwarded to someone else, and they download your attachment as well. This is actually a sales signal, an intent sales signal. Or another thing could be a website visit from someone else within the same company after you made an outbound call or sent an outbound email, or G2 profile visit or competitor check after, again, an outbound email or call. These signals obviously indicate varying levels of interest and engagement, and these are definitely not limited with these, but these signals are really the ones that you can start tracking. And now, again, due to the time, I'll be very quick here, but you can always message me on LinkedIn for my step-by-step playbook to how to start. And to start, the first step is to define the signals. And as I mentioned in the previous page, you need to decide on what kind of actions you will consider as signals. The second step is to understand your ability to track these signals. Like you identified the signals in the first step, and now you can see what percentage of the signals can be tracked with your current stack. current tech stack. Ideally, you might want to track hundreds of signals, obviously, and your tech stack might not allow this. So it is crucial to ensure to understand your current system, current tech stack supports the signals that you want to track. The third step is to create signals. And I can use HubSpot here as an example. And let's assume that you want to track the outbound sales impact, outbound sales signals. You can create a drop-down property in your CRM with like sales call has been done or not on the contact level, yes or no. Then once the call is done, you can then sync that data from contact level to company level. Again, I'm oversimplifying it, but this is how you would do, and then you can track it on the company level, and then you can get that data and look at your inbound data to see which of these companies are actually coming to you after a sales call, after unsuccessful sales call. And then the fourth step is to define value propositions. So obviously, once you get these signals, you need to do something about it. And what you can do is to create an ad on LinkedIn. You can target these companies. You can target these signals on LinkedIn by automatically syncing that data from HubSpot to LinkedIn. And to scale this playbook effectively, obviously, you need to find a way to automate the signal tracking and targeting. Some of the automation is possible through directly HubSpot, or if you use Salesforce, it could be done by Zapier. And if you could automate it, then you can also scale this sales tracking, sales signal tracking at scale. And again, this is a very oversimplified version, but that's about it. And yeah, I think that's it. And right on time. Any questions? Oh, thank God. All right. Then, oh, I can hear you clapping. Thank you everyone for listening to me. And if you have any questions, or if you want to hear more about this whole automation process, you can always message me on LinkedIn. And thank you, Pavilion, for having me here. Have a great day, everyone.